what's up? It's Camry and you're watching Camry Music TV, and I'm back with another Real Housewives of Atlanta review. So this is season 11, episode 11. So if you're new here, make sure you subscribe down below to my channel, like the video, share the video, and comment down below as we move through this review. Also, if you don't know, I'm also on Twitter and Instagram as Camry Music TV, so make sure you also follow me there. So come on, let's get into this review. All right, y'all, so we come back to where we left off at, and the ladies are on the patio still arguing about the whole Porsha Kandi situation. And really, honestly, after this whole week has passed, the line is really down the middle. A lot of people are on Porsha's side, a lot of people are on Kandi's side, and the problem is the people that are on Kandi's side understand that Kandi is real, and Porsha's kind of reputation is what's messing her up because we really don't have footage to feed off of. Y'all know how I feel. I feel like Porsha is telling the truth. I mean, she's pregnant. Why would she instigate a fight? And I know that Kandi still at this point in the show does not know that she's pregnant. So I'm just wondering, are they going to patch stuff up? I don't know. Kandi, she started a YouTube channel. I don't know how long this YouTube channel has been out, but I noticed it popped up recently, Kandi Online, and she gets on there and it's, is it wind down or wind up or some kind of something where she's wrapping up the show and she's basically sharing her opinion about everything that happened. Now, she's free to do that, and a lot of people are going to watch. I mean, I watched. So I think that's cool that she's doing that, but she was sharing that she's not going to believe, she's going to believe her crew first. I mean, naturally. But to me, that's kind of the problem. If you're giving someone a fair shot at forgiveness and a clean slate, then you would fully give them that. So I don't know, y'all. Anyway, so they're moving over to the hibachi room after sitting out on the porch, and Tanya's like, let's go down to the hibachi room. So she has a bar there and they're taking their shots, and then she has like the little, is it like kimono robes? Ooh, I don't want to call it the wrong thing, but I think it's like kimono robes, the long robes that they wear in Tokyo. And she has one for all of the ladies, so they all put theirs on. And they move into her actual hibachi room. She got the grill set up, got all the chairs around it in the square form, has chefs there with all kind of veggies and eggs and rice, and he's flicking, you know how they play the game, because pretty much all of the hibachi chefs, they pretty much do the same tricks, child. So he's flinging the eggs, and Cynthia actually catches it. And hibachi is actually a really cool date to go on, as an icebreaker or in a big group, because you can accommodate so many different people. But when you start throwing the eggs and stuff, I'd be like, no, I'm good. Next person. No, because you can't mess up the beat, okay? But anyway, they move on in there, and they're getting their food prepared. And of course, it's in an enclosed space with 10 people. Ain't no telling, this room don't look like it accommodate all that. It looks like Tanya, her and her fiance, they do some hibachi down there, and maybe one other couple. 10 girls in full hair and makeup in an enclosed space. I was hot just watching. So Porsha moves outside of the room because she's getting hot. She's pregnant. She has on 15 bundles of hair, and she's getting hot or whatever. So she's fanning herself, she's drinking water, and Nene comes out to ask her, is everything okay? Is she gonna tell the girls that she's pregnant? And I think the reason why I have no problem believing Porsha is when she talks, like, she pretty much says what she feels. She's like, I want to tell them, but I don't know if she used the word safe, or she doesn't feel right sharing that information with her there, talking about Kandi. And honestly, I mean, if you having issues with somebody and you're literally just being yourself and you're authentically and sincerely trying to go for this forgiveness and be a better person, and they still are holding you to this old person, it's like, yeah, I wouldn't want to share personal information with Kandi either. So they are gonna move back upstairs once all the orders are in because it's too hot. The ladies are in full hair and makeup, like I said, clothes. Marla got on that tight dress. I cannot even imagine. I would have sweat trickling down my legs. She probably had on some type of Spanx because she did look real smooth. Okay, and so they moved back upstairs. So Shamari was like, I'm not gonna do it, okay? I need food. We done moved all these times. Y'all arguing. The sun done went down. We still ain't been told why we here. We still ain't ate no food. We drinking all this, you know, stuff. She clearly looked tipsy. So she's staying down there. She can't get her chopsticks right. So she put her face in the plate. Face in the plate, it rocks. She put her face in the plate and she trying to eat the rice. And, you know, the other ladies are upstairs and they like, where's Shamari at? So the ladies get upstairs and, you know, Eva's finally trying to get to the reason why she has everyone there. But, you know, before that, Porsha's like, so how did you two, you know, start hanging out? How did y'all get so close? Talking about Eva and Tanya. And, you know, Eva just shares, I don't even know what she was talking about, but somehow she gets into the shade, the Tanya shade, and she kind of sets up an apology for her and Nene, because Tanya would be a great castmate, honestly. I mean, she's good for the show. She has a whole hibachi room, you know. She's a smart girl, so she has employment that's not going to go anywhere. She's fun. She's attractive. She's fit. Like, she fits the profile. I mean, she's not a wife, but, I mean... Okay, so once they talk about the Nene Tanya shade, Nene looks receptive to the apology, and she is basically, you know, in her confessional, like, you know, you talking about highs and lows, but you were in my store, so maybe you have a low budget. And she's saying that she didn't take it personally, but I'm like, but you did take it personally, and it's okay. It was your store, you know, just own your stuff. Nene has this thing like, she want to feel how she want to feel. She want to pop off, but she don't want to talk about her feeling that way because she doesn't want to feel weak, or she doesn't want to seem like she's weak. You know, y'all, do y'all notice that? And you're not weak for feeling, Nene. That is your baby. That is your story, something that you develop, and you don't want people calling you out about it. I mean, like, come on, girl, I feel you. We feel you. So then we move on to, you know, Porsha saying, you know, Eva, I just think it's funny that you can see all this other shade, but you don't see your shade. And when Porsha said that, I was kind of looking at her like, girl, girl, don't start nothing. And this whole time that everyone's talking, Kandi is over in the corner, and she looks so bothered. And I'm like, I don't understand people who can't deal with this and cut it off and just still be your fun-loving self. Like, don't let people get you out of character. Here's a nugget, okay? A nugget for everybody watching. Don't let people get you so out of character that it just ruin your whole everything, okay? Have that moment, hash it out. That's it. Move on. Like, Kandi just looks so bothered. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, for what? So they're talking, you know, Eva says, you know, I'm not a shady person. I never ever mean shade in anything that I say. All of us who know her from America's Next Top Model, we're looking at the screen like, girl, now you know you be meaning to be shady. Don't be sitting here acting like you ain't never shaded nobody. We like you because you are shady. Okay? So, you know, she really seemed like she was getting in her feelings about it, about somebody saying that she was shady, but you are shady and it's okay. Like, for her saying, you know, Cynthia was the mother and the veteran walk. Did you forget all that? Like, are you just putting on that much for the camera that you don't remember the things that you say? Like, what are we doing? And then, you know, Cynthia's like, I may be the mother, but I won the competition. And it's like, the competition, it was for play, but still, like, Eva, it's okay to say that you're shady. So we moved through all that. We moved through all the awkwardness, you know, the shade talk, and Porsha's letting her know, like, it's okay. It's okay to be shady. I mean, that's probably why you have lasted on this show, because you are shady and the audience, we love that. So, you know, Eva's like, you know, the whole reason that I brought you guys here, that Tanya helped me bring you guys together, is because I'm trying to redo this bachelorette party, because Nene, you really do mean a lot to me and I want all the girls to be there. So we're going to Tokyo. And the ladies were super excited. You know, Kandi was kind of looked like she wanted to be excited, but wasn't showing it. And I was just like, girl, you got to just let it, just leave it. It's okay. It's okay to feel this and this. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Nene and Gregg are talking about eating healthy. They have a chef over and they're discussing, you know, vegan style cooking and plant-based cooking, and, you know, just better ways, this alkaline diet, better ways for Gregg to be around, because let Nene tell it, their entire time together she's tried to do, you know, healthy eating and healthy stuff, and Gregg just said he couldn't be bothered with it. And so now that it's detrimental to his health, he is adjusting everything. And you know, we're all like that. A lot of times I don't drink water until I get a headache. Then I'm like, oh, I ain't drank water in 3 days. So, I mean, we all do it. But from, you know, what we've seen in the blogs and what we're starting to see on TV is that Gregg is very grouchy and it's starting to affect Nene. I'm going to mix this with the dinner party later on. So they're talking with the chef because they want that chef to prepare, you know, the meal for Gregg's birthday dinner later on. And he's just being real snappy with the chef. And he's like, I don't want nothing on that paper. And I was just like, ooh, I don't know. You know, I've never had a terminal illness or, you know, things wrong with me that they can't figure out. That's going to take some time. You know, I haven't had those things like that, like an illness, maybe like a bone. Like my knee, but stuff like that, I haven't had to deal with it. And so I know that it can be frustrating. I know that you can be grouchy. I know he was saying that he expected to get stuck 1 time, but he had to get stuck 6 times. So it's a lot for the patient to go through. And then you got like the family that has to go through it too, who has to make adjustments for you also. And so I'm just kind of watching, like, I don't really know whose side to be on, because on one hand, Gregg didn't ask for it. And you know, this is your wife and she's supposed to be there supporting you. But then on the other hand, Nene didn't ask for it. And, you know, how supportive can you be when somebody's being a grouch? So we're just going to pray Godspeed on this relationship. I'm hoping that they, you know, can come back together. There's hard times, and unfortunately this is in front of a camera. The good thing though is that this can be a testimony to someone who is dealing with the same thing, who is having to be a caretaker and their spouse is going through these things, and you know, they're feeling like they're alone. So this is a good thing for that. But at the same time, I just want Nene to understand that this is on all these platforms for everyone to see. And so just try to find solace in someone or something. Get you a journal, get you something, okay? Because he needs you, and unfortunately, you can't really push back. You know what I'm saying? I know you're not watching my video, but I'm just saying. So at that birthday dinner, he has, you know, all of his children there, and he has the doctor there, and he has his sister, and you know, his sister's sitting down talking to Nene, and she's just saying, you know, thank you for taking care of my brother, because I know that it can be hard. So that whole health situation, we're seriously praying for it, for real. So it's time to meet Mike Hill. Cynthia is taking Mike Hill to a restaurant to meet Kandi, Eva, and Marlo. And I was thinking, why this group of women? Like, if I was gonna take Mike Hill, somebody that I'm super serious about, to meet some people, it would be, you know, if I had to choose from my coworkers or people that have been on the screen, it would be my sister Mallory, it would be Nene, and maybe Kandi, because she kind of stirs things up, and Marlo. Like, why? Number one, Eva was the one who you had a problem with because she came with you about the will stuff last season. Marlo, y'all seem to actually hang out on the outside, you know, when you're with Nene, and Kandi is, you know, the one who always has the scoop. But, you know, I don't really understand the whole Eva thing. So anyway, they get to this restaurant, and she's basically going to do this speed dating type thing. She's going to give each lady 3 minutes to ask her man whatever question that they want. And I just was like, girl, I would never, ever sit down with coworkers and let them just go at my man with just questions, any question under the sun. I know that, to me, if he was just somebody I was dating, like Will, it would have made sense for her to do that with Will, because she wasn't that serious about him. But somebody that you're serious about, it would have been, you know, maybe Nene, maybe a few close people, and I don't know. I don't even know what alternative I will offer, but I just didn't like it. So they sit down, you know. So prior to Cynthia getting there, Marlo and Kandi, they're discussing the Porsha situation, and Eva gets there. And I heard Kandi say, Kandi said that she's not going to be going out her way no more to solve things with Porsha. And I'm like, but you went out of your way to create this mess. Like, let's just play pretend. If Kandi would have never said anything about Dennis, you know, maybe asked her inquiring 2 or 3 questions, gave her sisterly advice, and then let that be it, we would not be in this situation. But would Kandi have much of a storyline if there wasn't like some type of contention between her and Porsha? I don't know. But I do feel like Kandi she kind of brought this on herself, because it's like, you didn't have to go out on that extra limb to be messy towards her stuff. If you knew stuff, you could have communicated it to Porsha, but you went around the world, you talked with all these different people. Like, so it just don't look good. It don't look like you were genuinely trying to patch things up with her. I mean, I could be wrong. Comment down below what you think, but I just feel like, Kandi, like, you went out of your way to create mess between y'all. So anyway, so Hill gets there, or Chill gets there, and he is ready for the questions. Eva, they really taking up all day 3 minutes, okay? I think Eva asked him questions about... See, I don't remember Eva's question, but I remember Marlo. Actually, I might have written it down. Yep, I don't remember. Kandi, of course, asks the sex questions, and she wonders why everyone considers her the freak of the group, because it's like, even when you have free range to ask any question under the sun, you're asking your friend's new man you have never met about their sex life. I was like, was this written on the cue card? This is like made me uncomfortable, way out of bounds. And Cynthia just giggling like, girl, Marlo with the hot button questions. Okay, she want to know when the last time you was tested for STDs, and are you receiving a W-9 for dating Cynthia? Now, even though y'all can't stand Marlo, she asked some hard-hitting questions, and we actually was like kind of waiting for his reaction to see, okay, well, did you get tested? When the last time you got tested? And are you getting paid for this? Because, you know, y'all remember Will, we could have swore he was getting paid. Hill said, you know, my name is Hill, not Will. And I said, oh, my concern is that Mike Hill is a speaker for a living, okay? He has this show, he speaks, he's like a correspondent, so he speaks for a living. So he's able to speak to these girls, you know, anytime he's in the hot seat, he's able to speak to anybody and make himself look good, make how he feels about Cynthia look good, make Cynthia feel any type of way. So I feel like the only thing that's going to prove, you know, his loyalty or prove that they have a connection is the longevity of the relationship. Because when you talk for a living, you're able to talk yourself out of anything. Shamari and Kandi are lingerie shopping because Kandi wants to start a burlesque show. She wants to turn the shade into a way to get paid, okay? So her and Shamari are shopping. Shamari's gonna be in the show. They're trying on different lingerie that end up costing $1,200 in the end. And my question was, I didn't know that you could try on lingerie. Now, maybe they had on special garments underneath. I don't know, but it didn't look like it. And I pray to God that if they tried it on, that they bought it. You know, Shamari's calling Ronnie so that he can see. And anyway, Porsha sits down with Miss Sherry, her therapist that she's had since she was with Cordell. We get this flashback, and it just makes me feel like, wow, Real Housewives has been on for so long. Just watching Porsha's style, you know, and how it's evolved and how we are all now, you know, in society. But anyway, Porsha's mostly here because, you know, she feels conflicted. On one hand, you know, she has gone through all this stuff with Cordell. She was a supportive wife, she was a submissive wife, and she felt like she could not be herself. She got divorced from him. She was able to find herself, find what she's good at, you know, create her own lane, buy her own home, and, you know, all this stuff. She's able to find herself, and now that she's met someone and fell in love again, she has a fear that she's gonna lose herself again. I feel like a lot of independent women like myself have fears like this because, you know, when you go into that independent woman phase, first it's like you were kind of forced to go into that, right? You were in this marriage, you were doing all that you were supposed to do, and he just ended up being a jerk and it didn't work out. But you didn't decide. You weren't the one that was like, I can't do this, I gotta go. Like, something bad happened, so then it forced you to become more independent. And so now when a man comes along again, your last association was not a good one. And so it's like, where does me, Porsha, me, Camaray, fit as an independent woman in now this other relationship, marriage, you know, being a mother, being a wife? And so she has valid concerns because it's like, you know, I feel like a lot of independent women are trying to find that balance. I think it took me this year, I finally realized Beyonce got 3 kids, but it took me like, I think I think when she put out the self-titled album, when I finally realized, like, wow, Beyonce has a, actually it might have been Lemonade. Beyonce has a whole husband and children, and you know, we look at Beyonce as this powerful feminist type independent woman, but she's married. So it's like, in that relationship, does she still exist as this independent woman? You know, obviously I don't know her personally, but it just makes you readjust. You know, you can't be this independent woman in a marriage or in a relationship. So, you know, listening to Porsha, I'm just like, ooh, I really feel where she's coming from. And the problem is, now she's pregnant. She hasn't been with him that long. There's rumors she's famous on top of that. So it's just like a lot of layers that are like having to rush to come together because this baby is coming and the rumors are coming, so, and the cameras are there, so you kind of can't take your time. And so Miss Sherry's telling her not to rush into it, and I'm just like, Miss Sherry, she got a whole baby bump. Like, where are you telling her not to rush into? She's already rushed into it. But I will say, this is why I encourage, you know, meeting someone, talking, dating, courting, you know, then actually dating them, getting to know them. Like my husband and I, we got together, we started dating, and we dated through like all the hard times, all the good times, the great times, the struggles, the triumphs, all of that, and then got married. And then, you know, a lot of people that get married, they want to have kids right away, and I'm just like, do y'all even know like each other, like through the hurt, through the pain, through the no money, through the got all the money in the world, through the transitions, through, you know, all these different things? Because then when you start introducing kids into the fold, it's like the child becomes a priority, and the rest, like the feelings of each other, kind of get muted along the way. You don't really know that person that well. You know, for Porsha to have been with him for 6 months, serious for about 4, and already pregnant, it's kind of like you kind of doing yourself a disservice, and so you're kind of having to play catch up. I'm not saying it can't be done, but it's kind of like it's gonna be hard, because when they're sitting there telling her stuff about him, it's like, okay, I don't really know him that well. Like, I know what he's shown me and what I'd like to believe about him, and he's shown me the good things, but now I gotta go back and take this to my man and ask him, because I've known these girls longer than him. Why would they lie? But then I'm on a show. Y'all see what I'm saying? So it's like, Porsha did stuff backwards, you know, but it's not the end of the world. Everything happens for a reason. She's right where she's supposed to be. But the thing that I did like about this is that Porsha is cognizant enough to realize, like, this is what's going on with me. I need to get some therapy to realize, what do I do? How do I move? Because I do love him. I do want to move forward, but I'm scared as hell. So this is also when, at the very end of the show, when Porsha sits down with Dennis after he brings her a pickle, and they are talking about I guess some text messages that Dennis entertained, and you know, how it kind of made her lose trust for him. And you know, first they talked about the Kandi situation, Tanya situation. Then they moved on to the therapy appointment. He asked, you know, what did you guys discuss? And that's how we get into the whole texting. And you know, Porsha shares, it's the woman that I used to be, trying to learn to be much different, you know, and to move better in a relationship and with a man, but I cannot learn to trust you if you're doing stuff like this. And so I really appreciated this dialogue, because it's important for women to see, when you disagree, you don't have to get all like this. Like, you can talk to your man and talk him through, like, listen, I'm hormonal, listen, I'm this, I need you to show some type of empathy. I need to see that you feel like what you did was out of line. You entertained a text message. Let me show you how, when I receive those text messages, I don't entertain them. And you know, they talk it out, and I really, really feel like Dennis is genuine. I really do. So anyway, so that was a show, kind of a filler episode. We see that it's going to spice up a little bit as the season moves on. They're going to Tokyo very soon. So make sure you guys comment down below what you thought about this week's episode. I'm Camray, and this is Camray Music TV. Subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Camray Music TV. And I'll see you guys next time.